Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Hello, how are we live? This is the tricky bit because it takes a little bit of time to bring me in. There we go. We are live. Good morning. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Cherry Hive Facebook Live. This is where we help people, particularly women in business. But you know what? These shows are so varied that the content that we share on here is great for a lot of people. So if you're a fella or you're a lady, I believe this will be relevant to you regardless, the show today. So Cherry Hive is about sharing tools, tips, techniques, technologies, and most of all, talent. And each show that I do, it's just been awe-inspiring because we've had some amazing people on the show that have shared some of the great things that they do in their businesses and how they help other people develop their confidence in the skills to do great things that they didn't think they could do. Now, this show is, I've got a special guest today, Kristine Warren, she's in finance. She helps people with their bookkeeping, but is also a business coach. And this is her very first time on Facebook Live. So, give her a warm welcome, support her all the way, and ask some questions, some nice, easy questions of Kristine today, so that she can practice her great skills. She's already very, very well skilled in what she does. But this is new technology, and it's new technology to a lot of people who are very concerned about the challenge that it poses to coming on a live show and talking about things that they know really well, but still, because of the technology and because it's different, it does scare the life out of people. It sure does. So I'm going to bring in my guest, Kristine Warren. Welcome to the show, Kristine.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Yes, and how else are you?
Oh, shaking in my boots. Actually, I don't have boots on. I've got bare feet because I'm in my office.
Yeah, me too. Whenever I'm under the desk, I have to just kick the shoes off. Oh, welcome to this show. And you know what? We did plan this a week ago, and I know a few people came on and wanted to share in the show. Welcome, Angela. Good evening. It's your evening, of course, because you're in the UK. Welcome and thanks for joining us. Yeah, we planned this a good old week ago, so wasn't it? Was it a week ago? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And
I built myself up to get on here, and the gremlins took over.
That's right.
Gremlins, yeah.
We couldn't get the video on, could we? And
so I had another week of restless sleep, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to do it again."
Hey, I think you'll find today it's probably the fear is more than the actual reality of it. Honestly, I really do.
Because I'll just pretend I'm not out there live. That will be fine.
Yeah, just imagine you're in a session with one of your people who you're doing some business coaching with, or you're helping them with their bookkeeping, right?
I'll be fine.
Because that is exactly how it feels. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you. Where did all your interest in doing what you do start?
I was interested in this from a very young age. I love money and loved finances from the age of 12. I started flipping hamburgers and taking my money over to Toy World and lay buying stuff and everything like that. And I knew that from a very young age that was the path I was going to take. So I left school in year 10 and went to TAFE because I didn't want to waste years in university. And I wasn't a very good studier. I'm a hands-on learner. So then I landed my dream job in an accounting firm at the very young age of 19, I think I was back then, 1995. And I've been doing bookkeeping ever since. I've worked for accounting firms. Me and my partner travel around Australia for 8 years in a motorhome.
Wow.
So I worked for many different industries around Australia, the mining industry, fishing industry, Probably name an industry and I've done their books for it. So I've got a vast array of skills in a lot of different areas. And yeah, just did the whole lot as we went around Australia. Found work wherever we went, and yeah.
So
now we've landed on the Sunshine Coast.
How was that living in a motorhome for 8 years?
Oh, fantastic. We only planned to leave for 2 years. But yeah, after 4 years on the road, I think everyone knew we weren't coming back. We had to go back and sell all our furniture we'd left in storage, and we updated our bus and kept going. So
that is awesome. That's stunning.
Yeah. Great experience, and to do it when we were young, it was fantastic. So we'll do it again one day, but it's a retirement plan now. We'll be the grey nomads next time we go.
So you did your bookkeeping from the motorhome as you were traveling. Do you still run your business, right?
Yeah. In the first motorhome, I worked for accounting firms and other people. I was as an employee. When we lived in Darwin, I set up a Bass Agents business up there. Very long time ago. We didn't have the rules that we've got now. You didn't have to have a Bass Agents license back then.
Sure.
So I had in the updated bus, there was a little office space for me that I had the computer and everything set up. A lot of my work though was going into their offices and getting their stuff done, and then so I did have a few clients that I worked from home from. But with our technology now, when we first left to go on the road, there was I didn't know what Facebook was. I didn't know what Google was. It was very limited. The internet connections, I think I got our first internet connection when we were in Cairns in the caravan park. It was one of those little toggle things.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that was my first experience of the World Wide Web. So
awesome. We've come a long way since then.
It has really changed over the years. I started off with the big old cash books, juggling on them on my lap, hoping I didn't tip my coffee over it. So all manual back in the days.
That's awesome. So Kylie says hello. Hello, Kylie.
Hello, Kylie.
Yeah, so back in the days, and so, what was it like kind of having all that four-wheel freedom and then finally settled? Where did you settle first off when you stopped?
We settled back in Cairns. We were in Western Australia in Geraldton, and I just said to my partner, I think I've had enough. I just want to get back into a house. I'm an entertainer. I love to cook and have people around and everything. So you're a bit limited to a bus. Plus, it was party central nearly every night for 8 years because we lived in caravan parks. So it was group gatherings, happy hour. We seemed to have that all the time. Awesome. Happy hour went for 5 hours. Yeah, it was great lifestyle. Met a lot of wonderful people. And still in touch with them today. But we eventually settled in Cairns. Pulled our big Denning motorhome up on the front of our lawn that we brought a house up there, and never a dent in 8 years in any of our buses. And then someone crashed into the back of it on our front lawn and did $20,000 worth of damage to it.
No way.
Yeah. So then we sold that, and we were in Cairns for 3 years, and then we sold up there and came back to the Sunshine Coast. So this was always a dream to land ourselves back here.
All right.
It was our first point of call in our travels around Australia, and we loved it so much. So we came back down here, and this is it now. We're here till retirement.
I think this is the thing. Everyone that I've spoke to who lives on this Sunshine Coast, because we live quite close to one another on this coast.
Yeah.
Everyone that I've spoke to has either been here in the past and just fell in love with it and had to come back, or it's been their first port of call and they just don't leave. And that was my journey when I first came here to Australia. As an immigrant to Australia, we travelled all the way because we thought we kind of did our research. We thought we want to live on the East Coast somewhere, and the weather's just superb all year round, pretty much in the middle somewhere. But we travelled all the way up the coast and back, and came here to a little place called Bedina in Koana on the Sunshine Coast. and we instantly said, this is it, this is home.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere else.
Well, I think me and my partner are a prime example. We've been right round Australia. We've been in every capital city of Australia. We've been in every state of Australia, including Tasmania. We put the bus on the boat to go over to Tassie.
Oh my goodness, awesome.
And Sunshine Coast is our number one place in the whole of Australia. So now we live here.
Oh, we can't tell too many people about this because, it's already getting overpopulated.
There's too many people moving here already.
Yes.
It's a horrible place.
It's terrible.
Don't come here.
Hey, but now you're back on the coast. How does it feel? How does it feel finally being here after all that time?
Well, we've been here 2 years now. It was a little surreal in the beginning. I was driving around all the new motorways and everything and thinking we were still on holidays. It was, very surreal probably for the first 3 months, and then it settled in that we do actually live here now. So, it's perfect. We've brought a house down here and we're not going anywhere now for a while.
So you work from home, do you, with your business?
I do work from home. Still a lot of my work is done in clients' offices. I go out to them. I'm mobile. So I love working from home. Sometimes you can work in your jammies. Don't tell anyone that, though.
Yes. So long as you're not on your Facebook Live.
Sorry?
So long as you're not on a Facebook Live.
Yeah, as long as I don't have this camera going.
Although I do know someone who has disclosed doing a Facebook Live in her PJs. Pam, mentioning no names.
Oh.
But she's pretty extrovert, I have to say. I don't think I could do that. Not just yet anyway. I'll have to build up to that one. Okay, so let's talk about you and your business, because there's a lot of people generally, but I know there's a lot of ladies in particular who struggle with this idea of having to fill tax returns in, even having to document in their business, create some balance sheets and understand the facts and the numbers basically of, a lot of them don't understand. Well, I'm not saying a lot of them. Some of them that I talk to don't quite get it. They don't understand what is the purpose of having to do this beyond it being kind of a government thing that we have to do. But what are the real benefits of women, men, everyone in their business keeping an eye on their numbers?
Well, your bookkeeping is the engine room of your business. If you don't keep a grip on your finances, it's not just the ATO obligations that we're doing our bookkeeping for. It's actually a huge part of running a business. You've got to realise in a business that you need to keep an eye on the finances, because it's a cog that's going to keep ticking or going backwards, whether you're being a success in your business or not. And I've seen so many times in businesses, especially small businesses that I focus on, they put it aside. They have overwhelm when they've got to do it, and they put it aside. And I've heard, since I've been on the Sunshine Coast, I've been to a lot of networking events for women, and they're very successful in what they're setting their businesses up in. But in business, you've got to get everything right. Like my business, I'm no good at marketing. I've outsourced it because it's time consuming, everything like that. And I knew that it is a huge player in my business, but I was neglecting it. And you just can't do that. You've got to be all things to your business. And if you can't be all things to your business, you need to find that professional help there that can be that thing to your business that you're not so good in. So I've done a lot of consultations with women in business, and a lot of them are micro businesses. They're just starting up, and they don't know whether that it's going to take off. They've got their plans in place. Some haven't got their plans in place, and that would be one thing that I would look at with any business that I go into. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have a vision. You've got to have it all set up so you know exactly where you're going. You're going to hit roadblocks. You're going to hit hurdles. But knowing how to get around them to get to the end goal, if you've got that in place, and everything will start to flow in your business, but you've got to select the people to bring into your business to help it succeed, because you can't do it on your own. You can try, But a lot of people try this and they try to be all things to their business, and it's too overwhelming. So find your people. Find the people that will help you move your business forward in the direction that you want it to go in.
That's so good advice. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I've done, because I noticed with a lot of consultations that I was doing in these businesses that these women want to do their own bookkeeping, they just don't know how. So I heard the call and I put together a package, because I've trained many people to take over my positions as we've travelled around Australia. I've trained people to do exactly what I do. So I've put together a masterclass for people in business, especially women, that want to be able to do their own bookkeeping. They just don't know how.
That's awesome.
How this works is I come to your office and I sit behind you while you operate your computer, but you've got a BAS agent with 20 years experience sitting beside you, teaching you how to do whichever package you're using in your bookkeeping, whether you're using an Excel spreadsheet, whether you're still using a little cash book.
Yes.
I sit there and I help you implement processes, procedures in regards to your bookkeeping, so we can narrow your bookkeeping down to spend maybe an hour, 2 hours a week, every week for 52 weeks. And come the 30th of June, that word doesn't seem so horrifying, overwhelming, because you've got it all done. You've got it sorted.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, this is what I've put together to help women succeed in their businesses, because bookkeeping is a major factor. Being a BAS agent, I am not a tax agent, so I don't step over that line. We have got a fine line that tax advice is not in my area. I have to stick to the bookkeeping only. But as far as BASs, GST, everything like that, we can teach you how to do it yourself.
That is awesome. Do you know, and that's, we've just said, outsourcing is the perfect solution, because I know a lot of people that start the businesses, they don't have the cash flow to be able to outsource, to buy various things in. Or they don't particularly feel that it's something that they can spend their money on when they've got so many things to spend things on. Yeah. But on the other side of things, if you don't outsource and you don't get people in that do their job much better than you can ever do. I remember when I first got my first accountant quite a few years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago now. And not only did they take that overwhelming task off me of dealing with all my financial stuff to do with the business and doing my returns and all that, but they actually saved me a huge amount of money. You wouldn't believe it.
Exactly.
Because there were a lot of things that I could claim for and get kind of, put through my business that I just completely hadn't got a clue. I didn't know I could put like expenses. If I were training in another city, I could put all my expenses through the business.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example of me just outsourcing my marketing. Yeah. 5 new clients. I've outsourced my marketing only last week. We spent last week getting my homework done. 5 new clients. Awesome. It's paid for itself already.
That's it. It's about thinking beyond, the end of your nose, isn't it? It's thinking much bigger than, this bit of money is really crucial and precious to me. But you know what? If I put that into something and outsource it to someone who's good at doing what they do, that will bring back cash flow after cash flow after cash flow. I don't have to kind of worry about that. It's having that bigger picture mentality, isn't it?
Yeah. I give my clients both options. But what I really heard with a lot of the consultations I did with clients, that they want to be able to do it themselves in the beginning. Yeah. And then when they build their business up and they can afford to outsource, yes, you can have it, Chrissy. I want to give it to you, but I just like to learn how to do it so I've got a grip on my business.
Sure.
I teach people how to read a profit and loss. I teach people how to read balance sheets, the fundamental basics of bookkeeping. We keep it simple. We rearrange your chart of accounts so it is simple for you to be able to do your own bookkeeping. There's no such thing as creativity in bookkeeping. The more creative you get in bookkeeping, the more errors you will make. So we keep it simple. We follow the basic fundamentals of bookkeeping, It hasn't changed in all the years that I've been working in the industry. The fundamental basics of bookkeeping are there. If you learn them, you can learn bookkeeping.
I
It's
agree.
not rocket science. I'm not a miracle worker.
I agree. And I didn't know anything about bookkeeping when I started. And to this day, I still do my own bookkeeping. And that's because I like to keep an eye on the business all the time.
Exactly.
Like I don't like to work blind. I like to know, have I got enough stuff coming in to pay my bills? And also have excess to do what I want to do with other business stuff. And if I haven't got that window on my business, how can I possibly operate my business? It's not going to work.
Yeah.
I'll just, if it were up to me, I'd go to the beach every day. I can't do that. If I know that, I've got to have money coming in to my business to do what I want to do.
It's raining today on the sunny coast, so the beach wouldn't be looking too good today. So.
Hey, do you know what? I don't care. It's a beach. Coming from landlocked Sheffield in England, you know what, for 40 years, I don't care if it's raining, snowing or what on that beach, I'm there, right? But that's the great thing, is that there's a lot of tools and technology out there right now that you can use. There's some really complicated stuff, but there's some really good stuff that makes life a lot easier.
Look, the technology today, and like we have Xero, MyOb, all those programs today, and not to mention the add-ons that they've created to add on to these programs that are industry specific. So if you're in a certain area, industry, you can get an add-on that will book your appointments, everything like that. You can put your invoices into it and add it into these programs now to look at the big picture. I can't keep up with all the add-ons and technology in the bookkeeping world. I don't think there's any bookkeepers that can, because they're being developed every day to make our life easier. And the biggest thing coming from working in the industry for so long, I've noticed that the technology has gotten so much better and lets us work so much efficiently, but yet today we are so time poor. Yes. I just don't get that the technology's kept up with us, and you can do things in 5 minutes where it used to take us 20 before.
Yeah, absolutely.
So because I've also I did my life backwards, I think, because I didn't go to university. I wasn't a studier. When I hit the age of 39, I started studying. Obviously, to become a BAS agent recently, you had to complete your certificate in bookkeeping. So I had to do that. I did a coaching course, a 3-year coaching course, so I could add on value to my clients with time management and things like that, business planning and stuff. And mindset training. Mindset has got a lot to do with your business. And if you can't get this up here set in the core of your business, and bookkeeping can be a big blockage for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
As soon as you mention tax, money, there is a lot of blockages around finance. I've done a coaching course. I can get rid of those blockages for you. It's not a daunting. The ATO is not God. The ATO is actually quite good to deal with. But when you mention the ATO to some people, it's like, oh my God, bring in the Ghostbusters.
It's an instant. It is, isn't it? It's an instant shutdown of, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. This is not going to happen.
So I'm formulating a system that to get women out of this, to help them. I've always wanted to be in the industry of helping people, and I actually thrive on seeing other people's businesses succeed. I think it is just such a wonderful thing to see a client of yours just go ahead in leaps and bounds and their business just succeeds through the roof. That's what I'm all about.
I would say, even though you're like if you're watching and you're someone like me, and it won't just be people watching here right now, it'll be people after this when you put the videos out and what have you. If you're like me and you do like to keep a window on the business and you like to be able to know how to do it, even if you don't always want to do it, you can still outsource it if you choose to. What do they need to be able to? If you've got a few tips, I know you've got this masterclass, which is it's a physical thing. Are you planning to do this as well for people? Because right now we've got the technology where you can share screens, you can be somebody over their shoulder looking at exactly what they're looking at and still give advice.
I probably will never bring the technology into it.
Yeah.
Well, as far as videos and beaming into people's offices, I find my
the
clients
physical.
like one-on-one.
Okay.
They like me to be sitting behind them. Oh no, press this button, press that button. It speeds the process up if I'm right beside them. I'm in their office. It's one-on-one. I don't do groups. It's one-on-one. And it's tailored to your business. We're not going to go and I'm not going to teach you things that you already are good at. As far as bookkeeping, we'll skip over those things. I get my clients to do a list up of their top priorities of what they need done as far as their bookkeeping is concerned, and we tackle that list one by one with you operating the computer. I am not your bookkeeper. I am your coach, and I'm sitting beside you holding your hand and teaching you how to do your own bookkeeping tailored
so you like
to
the
your
physical
business.
You prefer the physical in place in people's offices.
I've been a hands-on learner.
Yeah.
And I've been a sponge. So I've soaked up as much knowledge as I could get off accountants, everyone in my industry. I just soak up their knowledge because that's how I learn. Everyone's got a different learning style. Some people are textbook learners. I pick up a textbook and it bores me to tears. I'd rather just be in there doing it, learning from my mistakes.
Sure. That's the only way, isn't it? We sometimes learn so much more from our mistakes than we do from the real doing it the first time, I reckon.
with Google now, as I said, we never had Google where we could just search up something that we needed to know. We had big textbooks and books that you had to file, and making myself sound old here, but I'm not actually that old.
You're as old as you feel.
It's just technology has just boomed in the industries around us now, and it is so much easier to find information. The help buttons on any program, you press help. I mean, sometimes the help takes you around in circles, but a lot of the times you press help on any of these programs and you can get answers. We didn't have that back in the day. We had to go in search of answers.
So if for people then who want to do it by themselves and they want to learn how to look after their books, give us a few tips of some of the things that you share with your do you call them clients or customers, who to help them to overcome those obstacles to understanding some of the stuff they're looking at?
I tailor make it to your business. So I come into your office and I sit with you and I look at your business. I've got a questionnaire sheet that I get into your head and into your business as quick as what I possibly can to know your overall plan, where you want to take your business and where the bookkeeping procedures and process need to sit to go with that business. So it's completely tailored to every business. I can't really say it's all the same.
But if right now, if they're thinking, I would love to hire someone like you, Kristine, but at the minute, they can't overcome that idea that they've got to spend money to get you into their office. And I'm sure from this video they will. But let's imagine that they're sat in their office. It's now time to get sat down with all the receipts. It's a bundle of mess all strewn everywhere. Where do they start? Where do they start making sense of all this stuff? What's the first thing you would tell them to do?
After this interview, I've got a lady starting in our masterclass bookkeeping DIY. I think I've told her just to get me a list. Because it's so tailor-made to your business, I can't preempt and I can't plan ahead of what is going to take place today. So I'll go into her office, we'll sit down, we'll have a look at her computer systems, we'll have a look at what she's doing now, what's not working for her, what I can bring to the table that will make her life easier as far as her bookkeeping is concerned. And then we start to go into the nitty-gritty of how to do a bank reconciliation if you don't know how to put out an invoice to a customer if you don't know how. So it's completely tailored. So I sit with them and we just work. If you put in a situation, when you get a new job, if you've ever been employed, you get a new job, you usually go into that job on induction day and you sit there and you have someone with you that trains you how to do your job in that particular industry, in that business, how they want things done.
Sure.
I'm that person that is training you how to do your bookkeeping. It's just in your business.
Yeah. So everyone needs to look at what their skills currently are, what they're currently struggling with, what they're good at. And instead of focusing on the things they're good at, is to focus on the things that really they're not doing too well right now, the things that they actually need help with.
I would suggest to any business owner that's in business to do a wrap up of their business and each area of their business, see where it's lacking a little bit, see where it's going ahead and what's working up there, and apply what's working there to what's not working here. If you've got the right people here and this area is just pushing ahead and it's so successful, implement some of those things into this area. So you may have to implement people into this area, whether it be outsourcing or you get an employee. But I go in and I teach businesses to do that and what area is actually lacking and where they need to look. We focus directly on what's not working, and we get it to a point where it starts to work for a business. And it's not a hard task. It's just throwing it to the side and pretending it's not there. It's still going to be there. You just pull it up and we do something about it.
Yeah, that is awesome. So you are based on the Sunshine Coast now. So what's going to be your catchment area in terms of offering these masterclasses?
I go as far as Caboolture. I've got a client in Caboolture. Obviously, the package is a little bit more expensive because I've got to travel and I've got to put my travelling time in there. But as far as the Sunshine Coast, the range, the packages are tailored. So if you ring me up and I'm not going to travel 100 kilometres. I'm not going to go down to Brisbane to do this. But if I can get there quickly, and because I sit with you for about 4 hours, sometimes 3 hours, we tailor the times each week. It's done over a 6-week period.
Awesome.
Or it can be moved and done over a 4-week period, depending on how quickly you need to learn, how quickly you can learn. I don't want to bog people down in a week of information and they get to the weekend and they need a stiff drink because I've just thrown so much information at them. So we tailor it. It's a 6-week package and it just gets tailored to the individual business's needs. So, the Sunshine Coast is the catchment. If you give me a call, I'll let you know whether you're in my catchment area, whether it's beneficial to you. There's a lot of different factors involved, but you need to have that Sunshine Coast.
You need to have that chat with you first, just to see where you're at and where you want to be with things, and take it from there, isn't it?
And the first consultation, when I come to you and I show you my packages, is completely free. So it's
awesome.
You don't have. There's no obligation. If you want to learn what my packages are and how I can help you in your business, so be it. And I have kept my packages reasonably priced. I'm not. This is my passion. It's always been my passion, and if I can pass my knowledge on to somebody else, that fills my bucket. I love passing my knowledge on. Awesome. Can't take it with me.
That's the key, is that share it while you have it, is what I say. So thank you so much. I am going to put the link up here for people to have a look at. Is this your Facebook page? Is that the best place for people to get hold of you, or your email? Or
the packages are all on the my business page now.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so that would be the best link. And if you've got any questions, just message me. I'm usually available. I work long hours, so I'm I usually answer my messages at night too, so after hours and everything. But the packages entail support after the 6 weeks is up too. So, yeah, I just want to get out there and
get in touch and
help
chat
these
with
business
Kristine.
people.
Yeah, because this is crucial. I don't think people realize when they start a business, especially if they've come out of the corporate world or just any organization where they've had to work for someone else, they just get a wage slip at the end of the week or the month. It's a big culture shock coming into the land of business and being left and landed with this idea that you have to, do this extra bit of work, which seems nonsense to a lot of people, but it is absolutely crucial to that, having that window on your business and understanding what profit and loss is going on in your business.
Yeah.
Well, it's been super duper duper talking to you, Kristine. It's been really helpful, I'm sure, for a lot of people watching. And I'm going to put the links up, the link up to your Kristine Warren Associates business page after the show. And please share this around so that people get to know and love your skills.
I must just end it. This Facebook Live, it's just, I've got it down packed now.
You certainly have. You got it. You got it. And you know what? You showed no signs of fear whatsoever.
Oh, thank you.
I'm
still shaking.
Oh, this is the first of many, Kristine. This is just the start of things to come.
Exactly.
Thank you for being brave, coming on board and sharing your experience. That was awesome. Talk to you soon.
See you later.
Bye.